Hey, James, we got another question from a longtime watcher, Mondola. Mondola mentioned that you recommend books for young boys and men to read, but he recently had a little girl, so he's curious like when she can start reading. His question for you is what kind of books should she read when when she's starting to read, and what do you think she should read as she gets older? What recommendations do you have? Now I don't know if you can answer this question because you're such a stud and you're so uber masculine that it might be a totally alien thing to you. This thing, but I don't know. Let's take a shot at it.
I'm a poster child for testosterone replacement. You gotta have me sit next to JFK, RFK Jr.
This dude.
Okay. All right. So I would start with Aesop's Fables and animal fables. I like to start all children on animal fables. Winnie the Pooh, Beatrix Potter's.
Oh yeah, I remember those.
Aesop's Fables. That is some of the oldest work that we have left to us. That was written in the 600s BC. There's hardly anything surviving from before 600 BC. I would start both genders of children with the animal fables. For the girls, as they get older and more curious, I like going to Hans Christian Andersen first. Then classical Italian fairy tales, which were mostly passed down to linguists and anthropologists by old women from different places on the Italian peninsula and in Sicily. My editor sent me an edition that had something like 100 stories in it. Many of them are very brief, and a lot of these fairy tales have to do, like for instance, there's Silvernose. The devil is pretending to be a gentleman, but he's really a pimp for hell. Different warnings for it to
Italian,
make children suspicious and put them at a mental place in the story, identifying with the protagonist that is really physically doesn't have power options. So after the Italian fairy tales, I would then go to the Brothers Grimm and the classic English fairy tales. Okay, the brutal one about the birds and the pies that had poked out the maid's eyes, and Jack and the Beanstalk, and things like that. That gives you a chance to actually discuss mature themes with them, but you're dealing all the way up till they're 7 years old, pretty much in metaphor.
Right.
And women and girls are more easily conditioned to recognize metaphoric patterns in things. It's really hard doing that with particularly analytic brain or autistic men. They don't see any implicit patterns. All they see is explicit, and they focus on it. You can give the girl an advantage over the boys by presenting her the subtext. Okay, so the ultimate, the ultimate children's stories that I would get her into would be Anne of Green Gables. Would be one. It's really about Caucasian slavery, the slavery of
that's right.
English children
that's
in
right.
Canada.
That's right.
Anne of Green Gables, and I would then go when she's almost old enough. Let's say 10, 11, 12. Okay, the Odyssey. At least one of the people who composed the Odyssey was probably a woman. It's an ancient work. It's very sympathetic to the female plight. The Odyssey deserves numerous reads. Then I would go on to the Iliad and make sure you stop whenever the female characters show up in the Iliad, because they are the objects of the story, and it's very important to understand power politics for any modern person, understand power politics from the objective view, the prize.
Yeah, right. Yeah. All right, well, that's cool. So, I thought you were going to say Nancy Drew mysteries or something like that.
Later on, I would recommend some of the Bronte sisters. Some of this kind of
Emily
when they're more
Bronte.
sophisticated, and they're going to have to deal with snobs when they're older, attractive young ladies in their late teens.
And I say, don't let them read Harry Potter. Don't let them read Harry Potter. Hell no. Hell no. All right, that's my 2 cents, Mondola. All right, thank you.